Hello, everyone, and welcome to NannuoLive. Today, I have the pleasure of sharing the screen with three other persons. We have Jan from Czech Republic. Hello, Jan. Good
Hello.
afternoon. We have Patrick from Florida,
Hello, everyone.
and we have Matthias from Switzerland.
Hello, everyone. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, everyone. Let us know if you hear us all well and the quality of the video is fine. It's the first time that we are streaming four at a time from two different sides of the oceans. So let's see how it goes. Let's wait for comments here. There is always a little bit of delay, so our video and our audio reaches our viewers a little bit later. Anyway, I hope that everyone is doing fine, that your year started in the best possible fashion with the restrictions that there are around the world at the moment. Hopefully it will turn out better. And I see now some comments, so good sound quality, very well. So it seems that Julia is saying everything is perfect. So I think we are kind of ready to start. And today we have a little tea challenge, a tea challenge to which many of you from home will participate. Jan, Patrick, and Matthias have also those little pouches that you have received at home with a number on it. I don't have them. Maybe some of you guys can show the pouches so that everyone see them. Here we are. And actually, many of you from home have also ordered those pouches. I'm very glad that you like this blind tasting a lot because I like them as well. And we will be a large group of people actually doing the tasting at the same time. We had even customer just making an order 2 days ago with priority mail and hoping they will get it by today. I hope they did. Also with COVID, also the shipping is a little bit slower than usual, so we have to see. And
Gabriele, there will be a recording, I assume, right? And they can probably watch it later as well, right?
That's what I told them. There will be a recording. So, I mean, of course, it's more fun to do it live, right? That's clear. But if for any reason we cannot, then you can do that offline. And I will keep an eye on the chat as well. So, but multitasking is not my main thing. So we have also Elsa on the line, and she will also manage the chat for me. Hi, Elsa from England.
Elsa.
So another on the other side of the ocean and on the other side of the channel. So, Jan, how are you doing? How did your year started?
Well, it was quite normal for me.
Yeah.
The first lockdown and so on wasn't too hard, but later on it is maybe a bit tiring.
Mm-hmm.
But with the tea, it is okay. If you have to drink.
Being normal is not necessarily bad, right?
Yeah.
When in Russian, when you ask to someone how are you doing, if they're doing well, they reply normalna, just to say that they are normal. So
Good.
It's the opposite as in the US.
Normal
in the US,
is good.
if it's going well, you say something like, "Oh, I don't know, Patrick, how would you say?"
Great.
It's great, you know. It's and the Russians say normalna. It's just normal. So, Patrick, how are you today?
Very good, thank you. My new year started off very well. It's always exciting to kind of have like a fresh start and look forward to the upcoming opportunities.
Nice. That's right. And Matthias, you just came back from vacation, actually, just for the streaming. So first of all, thank you for that. And yeah, how are you doing? How did your year started?
I'm doing very well. As you said, I was on vacation not too far in the Italian part of Switzerland, so now in the German part back in Zurich. And I spent a lot of time outside in the fresh air, as many people do right now. And the holiday season was more calm. Obviously, less of meeting other people, but still, it was a nice time for me at least. And also had some time to enjoy some teas. And now looking forward to that.
Yeah. Now we get started soon. I will explain what we are actually doing. You know that you have these 4 pouches, but we haven't told you yet what to do with those. Also, we have to mention that not everyone is at the same level with tea, of course. And we have Patrick. You actually just started, right?
Yeah, I would say I'm fairly new to tea. This is my first Gaiwan. I just got a couple of weeks ago for this blind tasting, and so I felt like this would be a good opportunity for me to learn amongst some people with more experience and some experts. So I appreciate you guys having me. So thank you for having me here.
And Patrick, thank you very much for being brave enough to join us, because you know we have a 20 euro voucher for you guys. I will exclude Matthias from this deal, so it's just between Jan and Patrick. Okay, 20 euro voucher. We have sent you the sample for free because you're participating with us on the live streaming, and no one else actually asked for it. Everyone prefer to pay, prefer to don't take the voucher, because probably they are afraid of participating, or I don't know, maybe they don't have the technical means, although there is not much that you need for that. You just need a phone. And so I don't know what we will do next, because everyone wants to do this blind tasting. But if you guys don't participate with me, I cannot do it alone. So I think for the next time, we'll do it in this way. I will wait that you let me know if you would like to participate with me. And when I have at least other 2 person, I will do that. So I have already one actually that contacted me. So one I have. So if any of you that are right now watching would like to participate to the next blind tasting, it will be probably in March. Then let me know. Just drop me a message, drop me an email, and we will do that. So Jens saying, Patrick, welcome to the bright side. So the bright side of tea.
Yeah.
And Jan, we told you last time, because actually you already participated once. You were so excited that directly after the blind tasting, you told me, if you do another time, I want to do it again. And you have a lot of experience. You said you have been drinking tea at a certain level for about 10 years, if I'm right.
Yeah, it is right. But Patrick's knowledge is fresher, so can be actually advantage.
Don't try to search. Matthias, how long have you been drinking actually tea at a good level?
Yeah, I was just thinking about it. I think probably like 5 years or something like that.
So basically, we started
yeah.
You started with when we met.
When did we meet?
Yeah, 2014, I would say. Yeah.
Yeah, I think 2014, 15, something like that. So that's pretty much when I started. Yeah.
So while everyone from home that have the samples can participate in the chat, giving you suggestions and so on, of course, I mean, we are not really competing, it's just here for fun. What we will do is that we will give the word first to Patrick, who has a little bit less experience, just because, you know, we want to give you the chance to guess before everyone else guesses. So when you see a tea, just jump on it and say, oh yes, it is a black tea from Yunnan in Linzang, it is this one. So just let's leave the word to Patrick so he can make up his mind. And if you, Patrick, have any question, just ask us, right? And we will help you. I'm sure there is a lot of help here also from the chat, how to steep tea. We had a video actually, I think I did it with Carol, yes, about how to hold the Gaiwan. I think 6 ways to hold the Gaiwan. I don't know if you've seen that. If not, maybe after the streaming, go ahead and see so that you can
practice. Burning my fingers and maybe making a mess over here.
But I see actually that Gaiwan is an easy Gaiwan to hold, so it shouldn't be too difficult actually. It's small and it has a very wide here rims, so it's easy. Anyway, let's tell everybody, because I'm sure we are getting thirsty here, how this blind tasting works, and then we get started with the first thing. So first of all, last time that we did the blind tasting with Jan, everyone has to guess the tea and have to guess not actually the name of the tea. They have to put the 4 teas in the right order according to the harvest time, from the oldest to the youngest. Today, of course, we do something different because we want to be different. And what we do, we will have a few different criteria actually that I'm going to show now on the screen and explain also to everybody. And basically, according to these 7 criteria or figures, if you want, we have to guess each of them for each team. So there is a group that are related to the type of tea. So we want to identify which is the category of the tea. Let's say oolong. We want to identify which is the subcategory, if it's applicable, is not applicable for all, that would be something like it is, for example, I don't know, a tieguanyin, let's say, or you can say a dansong and so on, so a subcategory. Then we want to tell the name of the tea. So if we remain in that example, we have an oolong, we have a tieguanyin, and we want to say maybe that is a vintage tieguanyin and even guess the year. But let's say that is an aged tieguanyin. And then we have another category that is about where the tea comes from. So identify which country it is, which province or prefecture, so region, if you want, which region, and which is the specific location, if you can spot that. Okay, so of course it's difficult, but let's say an example would be, we remain by tieguanyin, would be China, Fujian for the province, and at least say Anxi, which is the county. And then the last one is the year, which is the year of the tea. So you see a lot of things, and for that I have made a wonderful table here that I will be using for tracking who guessed right. Yeah. If everyone gets right, everyone gets a point. So everyone makes his bet and so, and then we go for it. And at the end, you know, we count the numbers and we see who guessed most of it. So if you are at home and you want to do the same, you just take a pen, you take a piece of paper. I hope it's not too complex. You see the 7 categories are on the screen. Just write them down. I will show them again later on. And every time you see a tea, you just try to go through each point. First of all, assess the type of the tea, then where it comes from, and if you can, the year. All clear?
I hope so.
All clear, but many details. It will be quite challenging. So
yeah,
let's
I
see.
wanted to make it a bit more complex today. Yeah,
I'm gonna need some help in the chat. So people.
yeah. I mean, they are writing so much
exactly.
today. I hard time following. So Forgotten Brew is saying, at Patrick, your best decision in 2020 to start with real tea. So it seems everyone is supporting Patrick a lot. Go Patrick, go.
Thanks,
everyone is for Patrick. Patrick, you have to win. Okay, good. So I would say we get started, and you can open the pouch number 1. I have it already here in the guy one. So what can I do? I can try to actually put it back in the Lotus, and we start with the tea. And when you see the tea, of course, we give the word to Patrick. It is at the beginning. So Patrick, you can tell us whatever you think about what you see. And for those that don't have the pouches at home, let me see. I will try to show the tea here. This is the tea.
To me, it looks like it's buds, maybe. So maybe some white tea. There's maybe some hairs on the buds.
Yeah. Okay, that's a point. I mean, it looks like buds. That's what do you, Jan and Matthias, say? Does it look like buds?
Definitely.
Yes. So we can say that it's a bud tea, and it's not a bad tea; it's a bud tea. And and Patrick, what do you think about the type of tea? Is white, green, yellow, oolong, black tea, a dark
Rooibos.
tea?
I would say white tea.
You would say?
White tea is what I would
tea,
get.
would you say? Yeah. And Matthias, Jan?
Yeah, I think white tea, yellow tea, but probably white tea.
I think white.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, definitely you spot, I would say, the two that could be. It could be indeed also yellow tea, and could be a white tea. Yellow tea because many yellow teas are in the form of buds. And because the processing is so difficult, then the farmers tend to also choose the better leaf for processing them as yellow tea. And So I would say make your call, and then we start brewing it. You can choose the temperature you want.
So if I'm guessing this is a white tea, roughly what temperature and how long would I steep this first one?
Matthias, Jan, what would you suggest?
I would go with
So
90. 90 degrees water. Would be appropriate.
That's the one I've chosen. There are if you say white tea, there are two main streams actually for white tea. There are those that sorry, probably the kettle is a bit louder now. There are those that say that white tea is a delicate tea and should be steeped at low temperature. There are other that say the opposite and have to be steeped at high temperature. There is also a video about that. There is a bit about how to brew white tea, and I put some argumentation there. Why actually white tea is not a delicate tea. So you can definitely go with high temperature. Jens is, for example, brewing it at 100 degrees. That's what he's writing in the chat. Which also how everyone in China would brew a white tea, probably.
Exactly.
I was told that any good tea can handle 100 degrees water.
That's true, but of course there are differences. Like in white tea, you can say that almost every white tea can handle that, and by green tea, it is extremely rare to find. It happened to me to try some white tea that was steeped really with boiling water and had no sign of bitterness, but it was quite an experience. And actually, I was with Matthias. Was it me, Matthias? I know, maybe it was the year before when I was visiting Lily, and she took out an excellent green tea. We were drinking it actually during lunch. She just brought to the restaurant her own tea, and we brew it at lunch. Just took a glass, put some leaves, hot water, and it was so sweet. Okay. Did you guys put the whole sample in the Gawain? Would be about 6.
I went all in. 2021. Let's go full speed ahead.
I put a little bit less. I have just about 3 grams because we were drinking so much today and I am alone here, so I thought.
Yeah, I thought so first too, but then I thought, never mind. Let's go.
I went with 3 grams.
You went with 3 grams, so half of the sample. And Patrick, do you have any idea about which type of white tea, if it's a white tea, it could be? And from the chat, don't be shy. Guess. It's only me here that can see the chat. Jan, Patrick, and Matthias cannot. So if I want to give them the suggestion you are writing, I will do. Otherwise, I will not.
The only guess I would go to make on what type of white tea would be silver needle.
You say silver needle. Lollipop say yellows are not so white, so that she would expect that yellow tea is more yellow, probably. I think she might be referring to the color of the leaves, but maybe also of the brew. So that's my brew here. So Patrick made his call. He's saying it is a white tea and it is a silver needle. And do you know? Yeah, I mean, in China, there is a way to address the subcategory of white tea, like silver needle, could come from different places. But if it comes from a certain region, then usually people address it with a certain specific naming. Not sure, Patrick, if you know that, but just to say. And Jan and Matthias, what do you think about the tea? Do you agree with Jan?
So I thought it could be also some aged Baimodon, like I don't know. Yeah. (2007) Baimodon.
So Elsa is asking
what do we have?
to talk slowly. I'll do my best. I will try to speak more slowly.
Matthias, remember. I'm trying to remember the teas we tasted in taste the. How was it? we are trying to find out what's the specific thing for Yunnan teas.
Mm-hmm.
We were comparing white teas from Yunnan, like a silver needle from Yunnan, and from different area.
Yeah.
I cannot remember.
So what you say, this comes from Yunnan or come from mainland China?
Well, I think that I would say it is from mainland China.
Mm-hmm.
I can be wrong.
Yeah.
Patrick, Matthias?
I mean, just from the look of it, before brewing it, I thought it could be also Indian white peony. But the taste is then, I thought, is more sweeter and different. So I would more say maybe something from Fuding.
Mm-hmm. There is, by the way, a comment from Agatha that says, I think, I mean, I might be wrong, I don't remember it, but I think Agatha is from Poland. It smells like cocoa butter, just like nannuoshan silver needle I have tasted in Taste of Yunnan workshop, which was maybe even the first, or one of the first actually, workshop that we made. So there are kind of different opinion on the chat as well. Carlos says it can come from Fuding, it can come from Yunnan. So yeah, that's we have to make up our mind.
I think that that silver needle from Yunnan was a little bit rougher and maybe more fruity.
Spicier or fruitier, okay.
Yeah. What I will do now, I will do a steep at 100 degrees just to get more out of the leaves. Since it's, is a game, I mean, we can play a little bit also with the steeping. They also, it's nice that also in the chat, they try to identify also some tasting notes. So we have Gabriele writing almonds, cocoa.
Yeah, maybe also a hint of cinnamon.
Yeah.
So soon I will go through the different figures to see what you guess. And one thing we have still to discuss completely is the year. So do you think that this is a young tea or is already fairly aged or is, in between?
I always think for white tea, the age is sometimes very difficult, at least for me. Because I mean, the impact of aging is not as drastic as for other teas, right? I think. Yeah. I mean, it does have an impact, but it's not as drastic as for oolong, for example, right? I mean, aged oolongs and normal oolongs could be two completely different things, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that is actually tricky. And then it's quite a round tea, and to me it has a sweetness, but not it's not just a cheap sweet thing, but it's a quite complex. So it could, from my perspective, it could be a bit older. I mean, it could be, as I said, maybe 10 years or something.
Okay.
But it's difficult to say.
Yeah. Few days ago, Caroline likes to prepare blind tea for me, so that when I guess it wrong, she makes fun of me. And a few days ago, she prepared the tea, and it was a white tea, so that was clear. And they say, yeah, okay, white tea, that's easy. Tell me which white tea it is. And I couldn't even see the leaves. She just bring me, of course, just the tea soup, just the liquor. And it has quite an intense taste and was mouth-filling. So I thought it could be a Yue Guanbai from Yunnan that has a little bit that Yunnan wild taste that was also mentioned by Agatha in the chat. And it was actually an aged Baimudan. It was a 2007 Baimudan, so 13 years old Baimudan. And basically, I think I confused the intensity from and wilderness from Yunnan with the intensity you get from aging. So that's
I see what you mean.
Just to mention one thing, but I mean I definitely understand, follow up your reasoning, Matthias. Patrick, just by tasting it, what do you think? Would you think it is a very fresh white tea, for example, could be last year harvest?
Yeah, so this actually might be my first time tasting a white tea, but just from descriptions I've read about it, I would expect it maybe to have a little bit more lighter, fruitier notes. So since maybe I'm not getting a ton of those notes, that maybe this could be aged just based on that. But
do you agree, Jan?
Yeah, I think it can be maybe 5 years old. So and the fruitiness is there, but a little bit later, not in. It's not directly in it. Like later fruity aftertaste, and it is still quite fresh. So
you know, Jan, what? Since it's actually very difficult to guess the year, I think we will give for the year, just changing the rules on the way, we will give just to one person 1 point, and only to the person that they get the closest. I think it's fair. And so let's, I mean, we can continue drinking, of course. I hope that everyone at home made up their mind and wrote down the different figures. And I will show you guys from home the tea. It is this one here, so that everyone can see also on the screen.
Yeah, but we don't see it. That's not
you
fair.
don't see it, but you have seen it. But you know, there are people at home that don't have the pouches, so just that everyone is aware of how the leaves look like. And now we will go through the different parameters, and
and just a question, so are you guys also on the second round, or what round of steeping are you? Because I honestly, the second round is now really more complex, and it's far different than the first round. So or are you already in the third round or something? I'm just at the second round, just starting now. And before, I must say, it was really, you know, for me at least, the purer, sweeter notes that were dominant. And now I get also a bit more of the spicier notes that I didn't get at all, or not that much in the first round. So that kind of, you know, has an impact also on the assessment. I feel so. Before I thought it was more a round, sweeter, round white tea. Now it also shows some interesting edges. So I don't know.
To me, with the longer steeping at 100 degrees, it's quite astringent. Like astringency, I didn't feel it at all before, and now it's really drying my palate. But let's go, I mean, to the different aspects here. So let's start with the category. So what do you think? Which type of tea is this one? Again,
I'll go with white tea.
Matthias, Jan?
White.
Definitely white tea.
Okay, so that's right. Is a white tea. Then what about which type of white tea it is? Can anyone guess?
Yeah, silver needle. Silver needle.
Patrick?
Yeah, silver needle.
Matthias?
I don't know if I should stick with what I had at the beginning. I stay with Baimudan, the 2007 Baimudan. So that's my guess.
So it is a silver needle.
I'm not so sure about it anymore.
It is a silver needle, and so it is a Baihao Ingen, actually.
Okay.
So
okay.
And it is a silver needle from Fooding, so it belongs to the Fooding Baicha. If anyone wanted to guess the subcategory, would have been that one. From which nation it comes? nation, let's say nation, region, and location. Patrick, want to try?
I'll let Jan start with that one.
And no one is writing in the chat. They don't make their guess here. They just speak about the taste. Sorry, Patrick, you were saying?
said something?
I said I'll let Jan start with that one.
But, I mean, from China, right?
Oh, yeah, I would say from China, but I don't, beyond that, I don't know.
You say just from China, and beyond that, this too much. Jan?
I don't remember the Chinese regions. Yeah, but you mentioned fooding. It must be fooding.
You mentioned, you say fooding. And Matthias?
Yeah, I'm honestly in between, right? I mean, as I said at the beginning, I said more fooding, something like that. Then I thought it could be also Yunnan, but I'm sticking with.
In the chat thinking? Do you think, guys, it is from fooding or from Yunnan? And while Matthias makes up his mind.
But are quite small. And this is.
I'm also going with that.
Yeah, the wet leaves. Looks like this. And so, Matthias.
Yeah, I stick with my first guess, fooding.
Okay, so I need the nation, if you know the province and the place.
I just know China fooding. That's what I.
Okay. Jens, do you know China fooding? And Patrick say China. Okay, it is right. It is China, and it is actually Fujian, the province. And the location is fooding. That's right. And now we try with the ear before moving up to next one. Gabriele even tried farther. She say Fujian fooding Panxi. And what do you think? The ear? Just put out a number.
I'll say maybe 2017. Maybe a little bit, not super fresh, but not really.
Yeah, it's 3 years. Okay.
Yeah, so I said 5 years, so now it is 2016 actually. So yeah, 2016.
2016. And you guys from home, make your guess. I will let you know.
I will.
Matthias?
I will check if I have more luck this time. So I stick with my predictions. I say it's a bit more aged. I would say it's 2010.
Okay, so it is 2014. So the closest is Jan.
Oh,
nice job, yeah.
Yeah.
Not bad, yeah. So it is 2014, but I think that Jan, if you want, was even better than the real age, because it has been stored already for quite a few years in Berlin, and in our warehouse is quite dry, and therefore the aging is relatively low. So that's for sure. Oh, I see that Stefano is also joining us. So Stefano is one of our T student, and also Patrick actually just recently joined our T school, and we're still to start with the first classes, Patrick, but there is a lot to learn, so we will start very soon. I will tell you more later about our new T school activities for those of you that are not familiar with that. But I would say, without any further ado, we just switch to the next, and we have another T, because we have been now. I mean, this one was the first T, so it took us a little bit of time to go through it. With the next one, will be a bit faster, right? So open the next pouch. Also, you from home, open the pouch number 2, and let's check what there is inside. And I have it here already unpacked in front of me, so I wait that Patrick and Matthias and Jan open the pouch. And then we will see what we have that So I see here, congratulations for Jan, that is now leading with 6 points. 6 points, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points. Then we have Matthias and Patrick both with 3. Don't give up, Patrick. 3 to go. I'm just reading the chat. So you have, Patrick, you have a lot of support from the chat.
Oh, good. Thank you.
And actually, Stefano said it was by how in Jan 2014 from Fooding. He made his guess some time ago, but for some reason I just noticed now that his comment was blocked. So now I activated it, and he guessed completely right. I say Stefano is one of our T students. We have already done 10 classes last year, so we have done a lot of NannuoShan tea tasting. So he have, I would say, a very deep knowledge. And I think also those of you that participated to the tea advent calendar in December, where you had the opportunity to taste 24 different NannuoShan tea, is a good portion of our assortment. So you have also good chances here to find similar tea or even the same teas. So what do you have in the guy one, Patrick?
So I would go 3 grams again, and just based on the leaves are compressed together, I would say pu'er.
Okay.
And beyond that, I would have to put some water on the leaves.
Okay, that's fair enough. I mean, it's a very good first judgment. And Matthias, Jan?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's dark tea. Go ahead.
Okay,
no,
so
you go first. we stick to the same order. It's always Patrick, Jan, then me. Sorry for that. Go.
Yeah, definitely looks like raw pu'er, like a Sheng pu'er, and quite tightly pressed and quite dark. So it is probably aged. Aged a lot.
So they're asking to show the tea to the camera again. I try to do my best here.
I'll be waiting.
I don't know when the camera will focus on that. I have to hide probably.
Put maybe the hand next to behind the tea so that it has better focus. The other hand.
Maybe.
I don't have light.
I don't know.
I mean, Gabriele, like that.
Like this. I can try.
Yes, now I can see it.
That's a good idea, Matthias.
But
So, Matthias, what do you say about this tea? Pu'er?
Yeah,
Pressed?
yeah, pu'er. I would say also Sheng pu'er. Interesting. So it is very dark. It has some interesting color, some yellow freckles.
Okay. Yeah. I see that. You mean those yellow dots on the leaves?
Yes. Very small. Yes.
Yeah.
What
Does anyone else see those? Patrick, Jan, do you see some yellow dots?
Yeah.
Yeah, there are. So what can that be?
On the dry leaves?
Yeah.
Yep.
Maybe I'll switch color.
And I mean, I see already a lot of suggestion in the chat, but I will hold a little bit because I want to give the time to everyone also on the screen with me to make up their mind.
Could be that golden flower, or how is
Do we start doing?
So what do you mean by golden flower, Jan? Maybe can you explain that to
kind
Patrick?
of fungus?
Jan, what do you mean by golden flower?
This is kind of funk, I think.
Ah, yeah. Yeah, it's a kind of fungus. So, yeah, and
What is it? I didn't understand.
I don't know exactly the pronunciation in English. Fungus,
Oh,
F-U-G-U-S.
okay. Yeah, got it.
Kind of mushroom.
So, yeah, kind of. And yeah, I mean,
The
so
wet
first of
leaves.
all, let's do, let's very quickly, very briefly, let's do one step at a time. First of all, category. Which type of tea is it? Is it white tea? Is a green, a yellow, oolong, black, or a post-fermented, a dark tea?
For me, this is a pu'er, and after rinsing the leaves, it to me is a sheng pu'er. The leaves are very fruity, like very sweet.
Okay.
So I'll say sheng pu'er.
You say sheng pu'er. Matthias?
Yeah, it's a fermented tea, but I'm not sure if it's a pu'er tea. Yeah, that's it for now.
Okay, and Jan?
Yeah, aged sheng pu'er tea. There's also some kind of mineral notes.
Okay, so I mean, Jan and Patrick are, they say is a sheng pu'er both. Matthias, do you have a little bit some doubt? You say it could be something else. Do you have any idea what else it could be? Do you have any other names?
Yeah, and it doesn't come up now, the name. I've just, the one, I mean, I didn't try it actually. So the fungus part, let me see.
Yeah, I will also try it. So I'll tell you what I see here in the chat. Yeah, so Forgotten Brew, for example, is writing that the yellow dots are a good hint to understand what the tea is. And some people I see in the chat already really guessed even the name of the tea. So I won't reveal that yet. I think, of course, first of all, you have to make your call. There is Joe. I'm very glad that Joe is also participating. He doesn't have the pouches with him. He just brought a year, 2016. I don't know if he's referring to the tea we are drinking or the one he is drinking. Yeah. And also, while we make up our mind, who in the chat, who was able to guess all 7 categories right, or 7 figures right for the white tea, the previous one? Anyone? So tea on paper is writing that doesn't smell like pu'er. So
it depends.
Yeah, the feeling as well a bit. It's not.
Okay, I mean, let's move on, right? So Jan and Patrick, you say it is a sheng pu'er, so it is a dark tea, a sheng pu'er. Matthias, you say it is a dark tea. You say it's not a sheng pu'er, something else, but you cannot come up with a name, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
So it's not a sheng pu'er. Okay. So I will give to anyone the 1 dot for the category, because it is a dark tea. Even if you didn't say that explicitly, of course, if you say pu'er, it means you guessed the category right. And I will give half a point to Matthias, because he's the only one that at least identified is not a sheng pu'er. I think it's fair. Where is Matthias? He's here, so let's give Matthias half a point. I hope everyone agrees. And it is another tea. So now, if you want to give a try, at least with the nation, which nation it comes from, which country?
It doesn't taste like a pu'er to me after tasting it.
Mm.
Yeah, it's something else. So
It's quite funky, huh?
does it at least come from China? What do you think?
Yeah, I would
I
guess.
say yes.
Jan?
I don't know. If it's not pu'er, it can be maybe also from Vietnam. I don't know. Vietnam maybe, or how it seems to me, starts produce much better tea, or maybe much more interesting tea. So this can be one of Vietnam teas. Well,
Okay.
like
I mean, it's definitely is the reasoning. So we have Vietnam, China, China.
Yeah.
And do you know, I mean, would you like to try to guess also the region, the province, the location, or is too much?
too much.
Patrick, Matthias, too much?
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out the category.
Hunan?
So what did you say, Matthias? Matthias, what did you say?
How is it called? Hunan?
Right, it's Hunan.
Anhua?
Hunan. Yeah, you got it right. Yeah. So Matthias gets
Basically just throwing out names, but
yeah, it is China, Hunan, Anhua.
Oh, now it
So
gets
that's
really
right.
strong.
And Patrick got China, so it's not Vietnam. It is a dark tea from China, but it's not a pu'er. It is a post-fermented tea. It is actually a fujuan, which means fungus brick. Fu is a type of fungus brick, and it is actually fujuan jinhua, golden flower. And so the only thing that we have left now to try is the ear, but I can tell you there is someone in the chat, and I'm happy to see that also Stefano, the student by NannuoShan, got actually everything right. So for those in the chat, if you read the message from Stefano, that's exactly what it is.
Gabriella, can you explain again what tea it is?
It is a dark tea, a post-fermented tea, but it's not a pu'er. There are other type of post-fermented tea that are processed in a similar fashion, if you want, like pu'er, but it's not pu'er. In fact, it is actually fermented, but it's not as dark as true pu'er, and that's why no one of you actually guessed true pu'er, which would have a much more intense taste. It is actually a brick tea. It comes in the form of a very large brick, actually, and the brick is like that big, of a rectangular form, and the leaves are pressed but are very flat, so it's relatively easy to take them apart because they do not cross the brick actually. And Patrick, you can check it later on the website. It is on the website. I think it's almost sold out. Actually, we might have just one last pouch, and it is a fujuan jinhua. And now we have just to guess the year. So let's go around the table and everyone makes his guess about the year.
I'm really enjoying this tea. It's got a lot of different complexities to it. It's really nice. I would just say based on that, maybe it's aged quite a while, maybe 10 years old.
Okay, 10 years. So let's say 2011, let's say.
2010, I'll say.
2010. Jan?
I wanted to say something similar, but okay, so I'll say 2012.
Okay, Matthias?
I say quite old. I don't know. I would say maybe 2000 or something.
It is the right answer, or the closest answer is Jan, because it is from 2016.
Oh, wow.
So Jan is fairly good with Okay.
I was also thinking about maybe in 2005 and so on.
So we have now, interestingly, that Matthias is leading with 7.5. Jan is coming after with 7, and then we have Patrick with 5. And Patrick, you are not doing bad at all, given the fact that that was the first white tea you had. You never had a post-fermented tea different than pu'er, and that's the first Guy one that you are using in your life. So I'm impressed. When I started with my first Guy one, I had no clue.
Thank you.
All right. So there were already from the beginning a few right calls in the chat. So that's why I really couldn't share everything, because there were just people writing it is a Fujian. People writing it is for sure not a shampoo, very, very likely a Fujian. So we have quite a few tea experts on the chat. And we have a lot of support. We have Jens is supporting Patrick again. Julia is saying, go, Patrick, go. it is not over yet. It has just begun.
We have 2 pouches left.
Yeah, but it's really a beautiful tea, and it's a bit a pity that we don't have a lot of time for steeping this tea properly. That's also why I just picked up the 3 grams, because we have time just to do a few brew, and then we have to move to the next and to explore further. So I will give you some time to enjoy maybe a last cup of this one. Also, Tom, try to describe also the taste. We have a lot of comment about the taste in the chat as well, that are very a big inspiration. I have an idea actually. I don't know if I can manage to do that because it's a bit complex, but I should do actually a live streaming, sending blind tasting to people, blind samples to people. They would participate then in the chat, would describe the tea, and then we put that description online. Because not a single person can come up with such a full description as what you get from a discussion out of a chat of 20 people drinking the same tea. What do you think? Of course, it would be very difficult to organize, and we would have then to sell the tea few months after we get it, which doesn't make much sense. But maybe sometime we could try that just for fun, because here they describe honey, raw grain, cooked apple, and they are so real to me. I don't know. What do you guys think about the taste of these?
It has kind of starchy.
As well. And do you know like licorice?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think it could have much of that.
It have licorice, and it's called golden flower, but it doesn't really. It's not a flowery taste. It's rather fruity. If we really have to pick up one between fruity and flowery, don't you think?
It was very thick to me as well, like a very
And that's why, Patrick, you guess it is aged, although it's not that aged.
And if you say and if you apple, I would say it is actually like apple peel. You know, not the flesh that much, but really the sour thing that you.
Many people think have written about apples, and Jens wrote about cooked apples. So for me, it's really closer to baked apples. Much more than to fresh apple, because it doesn't have the freshness of an apple. But when you bake an apple, I haven't baked an apple for quite a while actually, but and it would be the right season now. And then you get much closer with taste.
Thinking about it too, huh?
Yeah, it is nice actually baked apple. But nowadays when I was a child, my mom was doing it quite often. Oh, Sigi just joins. Sigi, we are at the second tea. You missed the first one. Catch up. You have the samples at home.
The fresh apple notes maybe appears when the leaves cool down a little bit. So then there is more towards green apple flesh, green apple skin. Oh, we have lost Patrick.
Yeah, we've lost Patrick, so we wait that he comes back, and then I will reactivate it. He had some connection problem also before, so I'm sure if we give just him a few minutes, then he will join us again.
And do you guys also get some very special taste that's not, you know, I think I feel something like wet stones or something like that, you know? I mean, like very...
To me, it has a spicy note that comes from the fungus.
Like at all. So some non-food. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe.
And it's very spicy, so I definitely taste the fungus. Maybe.
So
there was so much noise.
Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, to start the next one, I think it's fair if we give Patrick a few minutes to join us again. What I would like to, maybe I can do in the meanwhile, I can show you guys our T-School program, so that everyone can can have a look at that. And let's see how to do. Just a second. It's a bit difficult, but I try to switch.
My back.
So you see our website now, and if you go here on T-Knowledge in events and seminar, so it's a bit hidden. And if you scroll down, there is the NannuoShan T-School, Become a T-Student. So we have received quite a few feedback about what about doing private classes. And so based on those requests, we have started giving private classes. And after a while, we just decided let's offer it to everybody. And we came up with 3 different ways of approaching it that are described here. You see, we have the single T class, a T course made of 5 classes, and the T student subscription. And the topics are every time they are just discussed with every T student. There is not a basic program. So for example, with Patrick, that is a beginner, we will start really with the basics, but if you have more advanced, we will do it at a different level. And we will, it's not always me, it depends on the topic. For example, if it is green tea, it could be Elsa giving that lesson. And sometimes we pull also in external teachers for doing the classes. And you can do that also in groups. So just let me now check who, is Patrick back?
Yeah, I think I'm back.
Okay, that's good. So we can switch back. And so if you're interested, just have a look. I think the prices, we made them as fair as we could. It's the smallest we could really do for the T class is 1 hour every time, and usually we do it a bit longer. And you can even come up with a few friends so that the price goes even lower. So if you make the class not just you, but you have maybe 2 or 3 persons, it doesn't have to be in the same location because everything is virtual. So if you didn't know about that, have a look. Is a possibility for those of you that want to improve their skill, or they want just to practicing drinking tea with other people. That's something that not everyone can, depending on the location you are. Even with COVID is even more difficult. Okay, now that we have discussed these and Patrick is back, we instantly switch to the 3rd T and we discover what is that all about. So open your pouches, also at home, open your pouches, start writing in the chat what is the tea about before you start brewing it, which type of tea it is. We want to start focusing on the category, on the subcategory, and if you can already spot the name of the tea. It's really a pity to throw this away.
I kept mine for later.
Yeah. So, what do you have in your pouch?
This to me looks like an oolong, and maybe further a yancha.
Yancha, you said?
Yeah, it's got smells like a little bit roasted.
What everyone else says about the tea? Jan, would you agree?
Yeah, definitely yancha oolong, dark roasted. Nice.
Matthias?
Yeah, it's it has a very chocolatey taste. It's quite dark. It could be aged too long. I don't know. Yancha? Yeah, maybe. An aged guanine, but I think not. And plus, I don't know.
The shape of the leaves is very nice. It looks quite good. Not much broken or as usually can be with some yancha oolong. So could be topper grade.
So what we see here in the chat, there are also other people that believe it is a yancha. There are some arguments why it might not be a dansong. Siggy says there are not enough floral notes in it for be a dansong. But Matthias, you say it could be an aged tea, which of course aged tea brings about also this darker taste and appearance. So that could also a possibility for sure. But I would say, let's start brewing it. Let's taste it. Let's see how it tastes and if the taste helps us. Because aging doesn't bring a barn roasted taste. So a yancha is a roasted tea. If Jan and Patrick are right, we should also taste a roasting in it. And if maybe there is no roasting in that, then we should really reconsider what Matthias is saying. That could be an aged tea. So is the darkness coming from aging or from roasting? That's the question.
The wet leaves, I'm getting much more of the roasted kind of notes from the wet leaves.
Right.
So let's see in the chat. Lolly say it's heavy roasted. And Tion Paper says it could be a dansong. So here also we have, dansong, we have also two different types. We have the bouquet style, the traditional style that is more roasted indeed. So could be a little bit misleading. And Siggy is still going by the leaves, by the dry leaves, because he's still eating, so he hasn't drunk it yet. And he's they are starting giving really a lot of details. So I will wait before revealing all that, and I will wait that Matthias, Jan, and Patrick tell me really which tea they think it is. Patrick?
I would expect it maybe to be
a quick
darker. Maybe I didn't brew it long enough.
And Lolly say there are roasted notes in the infusion. So is the case also for you guys? So there are also, Kirsten is saying heavily roasted. Not that everyone say, I want to check something.
I think I can better guess that maybe it's beyond an oolong. Maybe I'm definitely getting the roasted notes.
Okay. What about Jan and Matthias? Do you get this roasting?
Yeah, it's very strong for me. Or,
I get it also quite a bit. So I have a bit more Now the feeling that it's maybe not such an aged one. It might be more to roasting, actually.
Okay. So I think everyone agrees that is an oolong. So let's now make the final call. Which type of oolong it is?
Yeah.
We have Feng Huang Dan Song, we have Yancha or Ui Rock Tea, we have Tie Guan Yin, we have Taiwan oolong. Which direction would you go? Patrick, make your final call.
I'm going to go rock tea, and then I'm going to go even maybe a little bit further and go rogui.
Okay. Jan.
Yeah, definitely rock oolong, Yancha oolong, and I'll wait with that cultivar.
Okay.
So,
Matthias? It's also a bit of strategy, right? That if everyone goes in one direction and you think they are not right, you might try something else. This is what Matthias tried before with the Bimodan, and what's wrong? Lose the point. So
yeah, exactly.
Sometimes you follow the suggestion, and sometimes you have reason for not to. So at the moment, Matthias is yeah.
Yeah, I definitely also see the rogui part, but I don't know. I'm not sure about that. I think.
Yeah, and I see there is, for example, no, say it again. Sorry, Matthias. There is some delay, and sometime
No. Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. So just to give you some ideas here, we have other people that let's say is roasted. We have even Jean Toki that is given already the answers for all different figures. So he has already provided all the answers. I cannot give that to you yet. I cannot tell you if it's right or wrong. Jean Toki, you will find out soon. And Jens, also, there are other people that are really going into a specific direction. And I will tell you soon which one. So for now, we have everyone says oolong. We need Matthias to pick up a subcategory. Sorry for the pressure.
Yeah, Phoenix.
Okay. And then we have to come up with a type of oolong. So if it is a Phoenix, it is a Milanshan, a Shengenshan, and Huangjishan, Songjong, a Baye.
Yeah.
What do you think?
it is very sweet.
And if it is a rock tea,
I haven't tasted it yet, but maybe I got a little bit of poached pears or something like this, and I remember that it can be found in Tieluohan.
And Tieluohan is a type of rock tea. So you remain with your category. You say Tieluan. We have also Tieluan. I see other people actually that say Tieluan. There are other people that say Rogui, and others that argue it cannot be Rogui. So it's also in the chat. You have both opinions. Patrick, you said Rogui, right?
Yeah, and I've just been kind of sampling the different rock teas recently, and it just kind of has a familiar taste to that particular one I've had recently. That's my only kind of.
Seems to be lighter than Tieluohan in the taste.
So you want to change up your mind? Matthias, you gave up.
No, I mean, the problem is I definitely can also see the Rogui point, but I don't think it is. So that's my starting point.
Okay, guys.
But that's just, that's just negative. I need on the positive side something.
Jan,
what about
your last call. Oolong, rock tea, which rock tea?
Can be for sure oolong tea, rock tea.
For sure is a rock tea, yeah.
Yeah.
Not only for sure is also used in Taiwan, but also used in
Yeah, I'll go with for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Patrick?
At least it's something different.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. Patrick, you say rogui, and Matthias, you say is the danzan. Which type of? Want to try?
Yeah. Or there is this dabu tea that we have.
Yeah. Okay.
What's it called? Dabu.
Yeah. And okay, so we have now a few try, and let's summarize. So we have Matthias is say Dao, so big black, I think Daoye, big black leaf. Patrick, you say is Rogui. Jan,
Okay.
you say is Fosho. None of you got the cultivar right. Okay, so there were arguments that Rogui is more spicy, is more intense, and that's the case. Usually you have this, sometimes you say even a cinnamon note when you really steep it for long, but Rogui has really a spicy taste, and as a bite, there is a bite to it. And here it's there is not that bite. Jan is the one that got closest to it. As a matter of fact, this is actually not NannuoShan, is also not for show, but it is Shui Jingui. So it is the golden turtle. There were this name also in the chat, so someone got it right. And there were also different argumentation about the type of roasting. Some people, when they were smelling it, they would say, oh, it's very intense, the roasting, but you have to take care because the roasting is always pretty intense at the nose. But then when you steep the tea and you see how quickly, how it tastes the liquor, actually, this is a bit of a special case because it was roasted at fairly high temperature, was roasted at 110 degrees, which is fairly high for roasting of rock tea, but it was roasted twice and not 3 times like many others. So they roasted once very close to the harvest, another time in summer, but they didn't roast the third time after the summer. Nonetheless, we have here that everyone got the category right, and then we have Patrick and Jan got also that is rock tea, and no one got the name. Then we have now nation, region, and location. So where does a rock tea come from?
This is that mainland China.
Guishan, maybe?
Yeah.
Patrick, do you know where rock teas come from?
Switzerland.
Fujian?
Sorry?
Fujian?
Yeah.
So let's say country, province, and place and location.
I don't know beyond.
Well, the country is easy.
Yeah, China, and I would guess Fujian province.
Okay. Jan?
Yeah, definitely China, Fujian, and there is that Yancha, like a park. I don't know, the place with the cliffs.
Yeah. Okay. Matthias?
China, Fujian, Guishan.
Okay, so
probably
it is of course China, Fujian, Guishan. Doesn't have to be. Rock teas are also done in other places in Fujian. It doesn't have to be Uishan. This is from Uishan. So actually here we get Patrick got right the country and the province. I wonder actually if Matthias and Jan would have got if they would have got the country, the province right without having Patrick suggesting Fujian. But yeah, now everyone got it. And then we have the location that was given by Jan and by Matthias. Okay. So the last thing we want to know is the year. So what do you think about that?
You kind of gave some hints about the roasting a little bit ago, but I would have guessed that the roasting wasn't so intense in the cup. So I would have said maybe it had some time to settle. So maybe a couple of years, 2 years old, maybe I would guess.
18, 19?
Yeah, 19, 18. Yeah, 18. We'll say 18.
18. Jan?
Yeah, I wanted to say 3 years old. So it would be the same. So let's say 2019.
Okay.
It's to me quite fresh. So
yeah, we have to wait now that Matthias come back. So you say 2019, so relatively fresh. Patrick say 2018, and well, we will wait now that Matthias join. Okay.
Yep.
Yes, you're
Let me
back,
just
Matthias.
quickly.
Yeah.
Am I on widescreen? Yeah, I am.
You're good. You're good.
Okay.
And so those that are at home, of course, can judge yourself. We had many people really guessed it was a UI Yencha, but there were also some others that thought it is a rock team. Sorry, a dance song. Matthias, which year do you think? Now you don't know what Jan and Patrick said, so you have to guess without. I think Matthias really has some problem with connection. It seems now he's trying to come in back. It's always a bit tricky. Connection interrupted. So while he's not online, I could give you the answer, but let's wait that Matthias comes back. Well, you know what? While Matthias comes back, I will show you something else. So I told you before about the NannuoShan Tea School, and another thing that we came up just recently this year is the tea credit program. This is actually something that is interested for those of you that are really a regular customer and want to save money throughout the year, and also have orders that are done much faster. So we have already quite a few people that subscribe at the beginning of the year, so it seems to be quite popular. And how it works, you basically pay only once. You can choose how much. Here you have a few examples: 200 euros, 300 euros, 400 euros. Depending how much do you pay, you get a discount. So for example, if you buy a credit of 400 euros, you can use that with 15% discount. So on every order you place, you get 15% off. Tea, the whole assortment. And to place an order, then you have just to send us an email with the tea you want, and the tea is dispatched. You don't have to lose time in putting everything in the cart and doing the checkout and do the payment, because you have already paid. So that's an option for those of you that are regularly
No, I can hear you again, guys.
And that would like to save some money with that. So check it out. It is also on the event, on the seminar and event web page. And if you're interested, drop us an email and we will tell you how actually everything works. So Matthias is back. Matthias, before you disconnect, which year is the tea?
Yep.
Because then we have to move on to the next one.
So I think it's not so old. Maybe I would say it's 2018.
Okay. So Patrick said 2018. Matthias said 2018. Jan said 2019, and it is 2017. So we get 1 point for Patrick.
Yeah,
Very good. and 1 point for Matthias. So let's do the math quickly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5. I count better in Italian than in English. 2, 4, 5, 5. 2, 4. Everyone got 5 here. So which means that yeah, that actually, is it right? Just let me check. Jan, you said yes, okay, that's right. Yeah, everyone got 5. It means that actually Jan has 12 points, Patrick has 10, just tiny bit behind, and then Matthias has 12.5, is leading with 12.5. Amazingly enough, because Matthias even didn't guess the last T. And
this half point, huh?
Because since you got in the previous one the nation, the region, and the place, Anhua, no one else did that, and you got a lot of advantage in that. So now we switch to the last one, because then we will decide actually who get the voucher. And and I see that people in the chat were even giving suggestions to Patrick about the year. Forgotten Brew wrote, at Patrick, say 2017.
Yeah.
But of course, I mean, you were not able to read that. Of course, I mean, people from home are able also to check out our website, so they can easily check. But I think what we will do next is to we will do some blind tasting where we send over teas that are not on the NannuoShan shop, so the tea is more difficult for everyone, also from those people from home, to guess. Just to get a little bit organized on how to organize the samples, because I'm here in the US. But maybe, yeah, I have to think something.
Oh.
So,
wow.
tea number 4. Those of you who are at home, open the 4th pouch, start writing what do you think about the tea before you brew it. And anytime, Patrick, you or anyone else have an idea, just, yeah, bring it to the table.
Yeah, my very first thought would be a black tea just because of how dark it is, but I'm seeing the leaves are maybe a little bit bigger than what I typically have noticed of a black tea.
But in fact, Patrick, also the previous one had relatively dark leaves, but there you said oolong straight away.
Yeah. Well, these to me look to be darker, but maybe it's just my lighting is not that great right here. And there's some strands in here of yellow, like some yellow buds maybe. Yeah, just based on looking at it, I would say, I would guess a black tea. The yellow bits in there are throwing me off.
Okay. So you would say black tea. What Jan and Matthias say, and those at home, please write.
It looks like awesome black tea, maybe something I really like, and I started to discover this year, so maybe.
Okay. Matthias, do you say black tea as well? Jan is not revealing too much.
I would say black tea as well. It's very interesting.
Everyone says black tea. Okay, it is a black tea. So let's
leave
all the categories away. It is a black tea. And from the smell, it reminds me apricot juice. A very thick apricot juice. I don't know why. It's the first time actually that I'm smelling that note in this tea. But again, I was drinking those apricot juices in small glass bottles when I was young. I think starting even at kindergarten, and that is what reminds me.
I also get some like orange, but not the citric aspect of it. More like, like, I don't know, cooked oranges or orange juice or something, or these, or these how do you call it? The candied oranges when they are like in sugar cooked, you know, something like that. So not so much the punch and citric aspect of it, but more the fuller aspect.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
And yeah, I mean, yeah, I definitely understand. It's not the acidic aspect of the orange, is more the pulp, if you want. And I see also in the chat there are many thoughts about which type of black tea it could be. Patrick identified already a few peculiarities. I mean, my compliment to Patrick, just to identify that on the spot, the fact that the leaves are larger than what Patrick has experienced so far. There are some white, what did you say? Orange, golden leaves,
some yellow
leaves that looks a little bit unfamiliar to Jan for a black tea. If it is a black tea, must have black leaves, and this one has kind of also yellow leaves. But we already said it is a black tea. So anyone, Jan, Matthias, Patrick, can tell us something more about this black tea. Can you guess which type of black tea it is? Where do you think it comes from? And we leave the ear just for the last part.
Well, I think it could be from Yunnan. It has quite strong. It has a lot of strength. It is very fruity, and I would say that this is some Yunnan black, like Dianhong from Asian trees, or maybe wild trees. But you know, usually wild trees also tends to be a little bit older. A lot of, not a lot of, but sometimes Dianhongs are produced from teas that are used for producing ware, and this could be the case. And this one is really fragrant, but it is not. It doesn't seem to me like a red tea or black tea made from some oolong cultivars, because it tends to be more like a flowery. This is more pretty, and yeah, it just looks like Asian trees Dianhong.
Okay, so there are a few discussions. Matthias, what do you think? Matthias, can you hear us? Seems there are some audio problems with the Bluetooth headset. Well, while Matthias is working on that, I tell you what there is being said in the chat. The fact that there are some yellow aspects in the leaves brought someone to say it could be Jinjunmei that has actually yellow. Some Jinjunmei has yellow buds, some other have not, depending on the type of tea. Or better, there are some that are really completely yellow and others that have just a little bit of yellow. Some others were arguing that actually it cannot be Jinjunmei because of the how there is not enough hairy for being Jinjunmei. And what I would like to add, also the size of the leaves. These are really large leaves. Jinjunmei doesn't have these large leaves, and Jinjunmei is made of buds only. It is really a must be for Jinjunmei. Otherwise, they cannot call it Jinjunmei. There was also another tea that didn't become that popular, that is in May, so is silver Junmei, and didn't become that popular, but that one was made also with the second leaf, so it didn't have only the bud. If you want to check that out, this is not an information that is easy to find. We have a whole video about Jinjunmei, so the different type of Jinjunmei. So go in the search of the YouTube channel if you want to know more knowledge in depth about Jinjunmei. And then we had someone saying it could be from Uishan. In Uishan, there are some excellent black tea. It is one of the places where black tea was first invented. It is argued that black tea was invented, the processing between that corner, between Uishan and Fujian, and the province Jiangxi that is just next to it, on the other side of the mountain. So that region It could be from Uishan. We have Yan that says it's a large leaf. It is a full body taste, and it could be therefore a Daye Zhong, so a large leaf variety tea from Yunnan.
Can you hear me again? Can you hear me
now
like
I can hear you, Matthias. So what do you think about the tea?
Yeah, I must say I was about to say Chin Mei, but I just heard that this is not the case. That was the first thing I heard again. So so now I'm guessing my guess would be Daye Hongcha.
Okay. So your guessing would be Daye Honcha. So we have Daye Honcha for Matthias. We have Jan say it is a type of Yan Hong. Patrick, maybe spotting the right black tea would be a little bit advanced for you. I don't know if you have that level of knowledge, but if you want to try.
Yeah, I have a couple of thoughts on it. Mostly my experience with black tea has been from India, like the Samaka, and this has a different kind of taste than that. So by ruling out that, then I would say that this would be from maybe China. And to take that one step further, and maybe I'm wrong on this, but I believe that the Yunnan area is using the larger leaf variety mostly. So I would just maybe try to pinpoint it there, just based on the dry leaves look to be bigger than what a typical black tea has been. So that's probably about as far as I could go with that.
Very good reasoning. So, I mean, proceeding by exclusion is, in my opinion, the best way to approach blind tasting. So you don't know what it is, but you know what is not, and you just start to exclude. We have to say in India, there are also other places where black tea is processed. I mean, in many places, there are places in the south of India. There are places in the north east, in Darjeeling also. The Assanica tea is made with larger leaves variety. So I like the association there, and also why you exclude that. And Jens also says that at the first smell, it felt a little bit Indian, yeah, and maybe because of the cultivar. Then we have Jan, it says is Dian Hong. Jan, don't check the website. Then we have, Matthias said it is a Daye Hong. So before revealing what is the tea, I now would like to speak about where it comes from, since we have already started discussing it. So first of all, I think everyone agrees so far that the country is China. And now the question is, where in China? Jan, you said Yunnan. Do you want to even guess where in Yunnan? No, it's hard, but you can try, just to put a name. Doesn't hard.
Too much difficult for me. I really don't know the regions. So I don't know.
Just Yunnan. It's fine. And Patrick, you also said Yunnan?
Yeah, I was guessing Yunnan just because of the larger leaves.
Yes.
But nothing else, no other reason.
Mm-hmm. And Matthias, you say Daye Honcha. So where do you say it comes from?
Guangdong.
You say Guangdong, China. Okay. And that the province, do you want to go even farther and say the place?
No, I don't think I'm able to do that.
All right. So we have that. Now I will reveal now which tea it is, and then we proceed and we try to guess the year. Okay. So, or maybe we should do that as well. So then we reveal everything at the end. Yeah, let's do like that. Everything blind. Which is the year of this tea? And we do the other way around now. Matthias.
2018.
Jan. Seems to be quite fresh. But black tea, okay. I will stay with 2019. Yeah.
19. And Patrick?
Can I also say 2018?
Of course, yeah.
Okay, that's what I'll guess.
Okay, so now we said the category black tea, everyone got it right. Then we said the subcategory. I would say everyone said that is a large leaf variety. So I will give actually here a point to everyone because it is a large leaf variety. And then we have tea from Yunnan, so basically Lian Hong, and we have Da Ye Hong. None of that is right because it is Yingde Oncha. It's very difficult to guess it. Someone in the chat got it right. Compliments to them because they are familiar with our tea. Yingde Oncha is not a tea that just nannuoshan features and no one else knows. That would be the case maybe with Da Ye Honcha that was meant by Matthias. It is a tea actually that comes from a forest near Guangzhou, and there no one else have it because we buy it by the only farmer that has a field in that forest. So no one else. In fact, the name, it doesn't even give a name to the tea. I just invented the name. Yingde Oncha is a famous, relatively famous, let's say. It has a name. It is Yingde is a place, and in Yingde they do Yingde Oncha. About 50 years ago, they even developed a local cultivar to use for their local tea. And I just wanted to bring, to the website a tea that is not the classic black tea, but still is a name, and it helps us improving our knowledge of black tea in general, Yingde Honcha. Nonetheless, Matthias was lucky, or maybe not lucky, in the fact that there are not so many other regions in China where big leaf variety are used for black tea. And in fact, Yingde is in Guangdong. So it means that everyone got the country right, but Matthias even got the province right. And the place, you can guess the place only if you guess the tea, because it's Yingde. So say that if we move to the year, again, my compliment to Patrick, 2018, and to Matthias, 2018. You both got the year right. And now we do the math. We have Jan got 3 points this round, Patrick got 4, and Matthias got 5. So the total is Matthias get 17.5, Patrick's get 9, 10, 11, 14, and Jan gets 15. So close, so close. So Jan,
wow.
You won a 20 euro voucher.
So,
congratulations, Jan.
Congratulations. And by the way, I was keeping saying compliments because that's a false friend in Italian. We say complimenti, but you don't say compliments in English, you say congratulations. So I keep on doing this type of mistakes despite living in the US. And but I mean, I would say my congratulations to Patrick. That spot 14 is just 1 point behind Jan, and he just started drinking tea, while Jan, he's definitely an experienced tea drinker. So I would say a lot of potential. So I'm happy, Patrick, that we will start going through the different tea, and we will have classes. And if we do that again in 6 months, you would win. Sure. I can guarantee that.
I think I made some lucky guesses, some beginner's luck there.
It's, of course, guessing a year is also a matter of luck. I would say that Jan was, much more also consistent with the argumentation. So, especially, for example, when we were speaking about rock tea, I mean, you didn't got the right rock tea, but saying Tieloan and say Fosho, for example, you didn't say raw gooey because you didn't have that aspect. And personally, I would never guess it right. Like, it would just a matter of luck. You cannot really distinguish between Shui Jingui and Tieluan. It's very, very hard. So in that extent, you didn't got the point as anyone else got it, but you were the one that really got closest to it. And Matthias actually was completely wrong with that one. He said dance song. That's not a dance song. But even if he couldn't remember the name, but you couldn't remember the name Fu Juan for the brick tea. But nonetheless, you actually understood which tea it was and was able to recollect the location and even the city where it comes from. So all in all, that's how it has been done. And I hope from home you also had fun, and maybe you have counted all your points. I don't know if you have done that, and you can compare, with the one that are on the screen. What is coming next? So now we've done this blind tasting. We have certainly we will do another blind tasting, maybe in a different form. I say maybe we send you tea that are not on the NannuoShan shop, but I will wait that at least 2, better if 3 person from you reach out to us and tell us that they would like to participate on the screen, and then we will schedule. That's not a problem because we have topics in between. We don't want to do in our live streaming only blind tasting. We have a CD. We'll do a special live streaming on February 6th, and it will be about poor storage. So what's the deal there? Maybe you have followed our channel and you've seen that recently we have posted 2 videos about poor storage. If you haven't watched them, go ahead and watch. Even if you are experienced, at least watch the last one, because I'm sure you see information in there that you don't find anywhere else, because we did a lot of research on the topic. There is a 3rd video on poor storage that I'm working on and will be out probably next month. But I told CD to not watch any of those videos. So he has no clue about my opinion about poor storage. And the reason for that, because we have decided already long ago, he would do a video about poor storage. And we want that he brings out his own opinion. Sigi is a poor freak. He has even a Pumidor at home where he stores his tea under certain conditions. He has done a lot of research on his side. So on the February 6th, there will be an open discussion in which Sigi explained the way he stores tea and why, and with everyone in the chat, we will share information about that. And hopefully will be a little bit different than what I told you, so that you get more of a wider view about poor storage, which is a topic where there are a lot of different opinions about. And then we have more live streaming. I don't want to reveal actually other ideas, simply because I'm not 100% sure that we will be able to do that. But I would say just there is another cooperation that we are trying to do, and we would like actually to bring the cooperation to the screen in a live streaming. What else? For those of you that are following, we have now announced just after Christmas that we will start, or we want actually, to open a local NannuoShan shop in the US. Not a tea house. We want to open in the United States a warehouse to store our tea and have a specific shop so that all the customers in the US can actually buy the tea directly from the US without having to wait too long from the tea to get over. So Patrick will profit from it. And it is the first step. For us, we are a very small shop. Any one of us is actually doing something else in life. And we will take it step by step. We announced it already, but it will take months until that's out. But hopefully soon, and hopefully this year, we will have a local tea shop in the US. Let me think, what else is going on? There is so much going on. I mentioned that. Well, if we speak about, I just told you that we do different type of work, and we have different activities in our life. Like I don't live out of NannuoShan, Matthias doesn't live out of NannuoShan, Elsa does not, and so on. So I've been asked a few times from subscriber and customer what else I do in life besides tea, and so I decided to start another YouTube channel, much more informal, and I won't publish their video every week just because I'm running out of time. But in that YouTube channel, I will post a little bit of a personal life video in which I show you what I do else besides tea. Sometimes there is anyway tea around. And I will post at the end of the video a link in the description below. So if you want to check that out, you will know what I do in life. So I think that's also said. And I think that's pretty much. everything. There is just one more tip that I want to give you, and that you know that with Elsa, we have been approaching the world of Japanese tea for a closer point of view, because Elsa spent times in Japan studying Japanese tea, and she has contacts there. So we were able to source teaware and tea directly from the farmer and from the artist. And some of those teas are already on the shop and are almost sold out. So those were tea actually the 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 senchas that came not through Elsa but through T-Mania in Switzerland. So we cooperate also with T-Mania. I'm speaking so much, and actually, guys, you told me before shouldn't speak that much. I will cut it short. But he's a friend of us. Dietz Peter is a friend of Matthias and myself. So we have this cooperation, and we exchange some teas, which is also very beneficial for COVID, since it's so hard to source tea from Japan. But we have already received tea and teaware directly from Japan, and I would say they will be out within 3 weeks. 3 weeks from now, we will have two, I would say, excellent matcha. We did a lot of research for that. Elsa already recorded, filmed the first video about matcha. I'm anticipating things, that will happen in weeks, because I need time to processing everything. And we have also some very artistic matcha bowls that we have selected. So all of that is coming up in the close future. And I do hope, and this is really the last point, promise, I do hope that within 3 months, I would say within 3 months, I do hope we will start bringing out all the pu'er from the private, not from the private, from the pu'er project that I've been talking about in the past. All those pu'er boxes are now on their way from China to Europe. So we need just some time, wait that they are there, taking all the product photos, having Dimitri describing the tea, and then they will be out. For those of you that participate to the Tea Credit program, you will be able to order all that in advance, because you don't have to order from the website. As soon as we know the price, you can just drop us an email and tell us, I want the new pu'er, give me the price, give me the name, and you get the tea. Okay, that's pretty much it, I would say. Now I wanted to ask around. Patrick, how was this blind tasting experience? What does it bring to you, drinking tea blind?
This was great. I had a lot of fun. I learned about a new tea, this yellow fungus tea that I didn't know anything about. So I'm interested to go and learn more about that. That was actually my favorite tea from the selection. So I'm looking forward to revisiting that tea.
You mean the dark tea?
Yeah, the fermented tea.
Yeah. So you know what? I think I should do that right now before anyone else does. I go now on our system and I take the last pouch out of the system. So that's for you.
Oh, thank you.
So we have that. I'll do it while we speak. So just please. And what do you think about the black tea?
The last tea that we had, the black tea, number 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is good. Black tea, it's not my favorite of the categories, but it's good. This one was it was a different experience tasting this than the other black teas I've had from India. So it kind of like sparks a new interest to kind of explore more different varieties in the black tea category.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's good. And black tea is a very neglected category, but it deserves attention for sure. Yeah, and we will look into that in 1 or 2 classes for sure. And well, Jan, you are a veteran of our blind tea tasting at this point, having done both.
Yeah.
And so I'm glad actually that you also won the voucher. No, you won the voucher, because I mean it's not easy, to be on the screen and say out what you think about the tea, especially when you're a beginner. it's hard, but at least you have an excuse, you know. You can say, I'm a beginner, so you get all this support and so on. But when you are expert about the tea and you guess the tea wrong, then maybe everyone is pointing the fingers toward you. But guys, we know from home that that's not easy. And those of you that had those tiny pouches know how hard it is, yeah? So how was for you, Jan?
Yeah, it was perfect. It seems to me a bit easier, but maybe it's only the seeming. Maybe because of the beginning that it was that silver needle tea that I was quite sure about. Yeah, and yeah, it was nice. Perfect teas, and that the last one surprised me quite a lot. It has a lot of similarity with the Yang Hong. So
Yes.
yeah, I'm happy.
It is, and it's nice that there is also this large list variety that is used in other place. That's something that is not so common, and it is really a local cultivar from Guangdong, which is, I mean, 2,000 kilometers from Yunnan. Yeah. Matthias, how do you feel about having collected most of the points?
I feel very lucky. But honestly, I really enjoyed it, and I feel also it's a nice way to taste tea, right? I mean, usually you know the tea, and you have all the information, and then you tend to focus on that so much. And maybe if you don't know it, you focus more on the taste of tea. So it would be almost nice to do it more also during normal life, just to have a tea and focus on how it tastes.
Yeah.
I think so. I enjoyed it. Yeah.
And yeah, and it's not so difficult to do a blind tasting alone. So if you don't have anyone else tipping the tea for you, with one pouch might be difficult because you select one and then you know already what you took. But if you take three teas, then you can mix them up. There is a video, I think from December, about finding the black sheep, and there I am alone. I'm doing a blind tasting alone, and I show you how actually you can how can I say, even alone, how you can mix up the teas in a way that you don't know actually what you're drinking, which is not that easy, right? Because actually you see the tea, you see the color, but you can avoid that. And this is an exercise that came up to my mind with Stefano, I said, one of our tea students, because he was alone at home and he asked me, how can I practice? And I told him, this is a very good exercise to help you recognizing the teas. And then we came up with these finding the black sheep.
Yeah, that's a nice idea, and I saw the video. So, and the other thing that I guess that happens to many tea lovers is this kind of accidental blind tasting when you find some bag and you have no clue what it was, and you just go, okay, let's try it.
Yeah, I mean, of course, that happens mostly
So,
if you in China take tea because they don't write, or they write in Chinese. If you buy tea from a Western shop, usually it's written on that. But that's for sure something that happened. Yeah, and we don't know yet when we will be able to go back to China to source tea. We hope soon. As soon as I get the vaccine, I will get vaccinated, and then I will try to find out if China accept the vaccine to go over. No idea yet. It's already quite difficult actually from here to go back to Europe and then coming back to the US. But all of you that are listening now, if you have any ideas of things that you would like to see from our side, tea that you would like us to source, content that you would like to see, tell us. I know that many of you bring about ideas. We have recently, for example, Gabriele, not me, another Gabriele, that suggested another great video. And she asked actually, which is the difference in drying? Every tea is dried, every leaves is dried, because if it's not dry, it will deteriorate with time. So you need to reduce the water content and essiccate the leaves. And she was asking, which is the difference in the taste between sun drying and any other type of drying? You know that most of the tea are dried in an oven, for example, or on a pan, or in the wok. And she said some teas are actually dried at the sun, and there are some specific teas that are only dried at the sun. So why? What does it bring to the taste? What does it change with respect to drying the oven. And I have some ideas about that, but I would like to deep even further in understanding that, because some things, you know, are quite clear when you compare sunshine with the heat from an oven. It is two very different things, but I will work on that, and I will definitely, you know, it gives me an idea also for search. It's not that I know everything about tea, so I like also to do research for you and then bringing out that content. I do that by personal research, but also by interviewing other tea experts. So if you have any topic and you don't know the answer, just let me know. Even if I don't know the answer, we will try to answer that. And you see that, for example, for Japanese tea, I just rely on Elsa because she has much more knowledge than I. And being the one that processes the videos, I have time every time, you know, to learn something new from her videos as well. So check those out. And yeah, and I think that's all for today. From home, I hope you have enjoyed this blind tasting. Write us in the comments, how did you like that? And please write an email to info@nannuoshan.org if you would like to participate to the next one. So thank you very much for watching. Patrick, Jan, and Matthias, thanks a lot for being here. Yeah, that's really great.
Also,
thanks everyone. Thank you.
I wish you a great weekend ahead, and we will see each other for sure very soon. Bye bye, guys. Bye, Jan. Bye, Patrick.
Bye. Thank you,
everybody. Bye bye. Let's see if I can stop these. It doesn't want to stop now. It seems it's